Starting at defensive end, number 9, Amechi Kankwo. At defensive tackle, number 94, Nate Sickard. The nose guard, number 97, Josh Cohen. And at rover, number 11, C.J. Shoemaker. The linebackers for the Engineers, number 5, Cole McGrath. Number 45, Joe Deptula. And number 54, Connor Noyes. At cornerback, number 2, C.J. Lyons. The free safety, number 3, Spencer Brockdorf. At strong safety, number 23, Jimmy Leblow. And also at cornerback, number 13, Carlos Davis. The rest of the Engineers and their head coach, Ralph Isernia. Officials have called the captains to midfield for the coin toss.
Afternoon, gentlemen. They coin heads and tails, heads. What would you like to call as a visit? Tails. Tails is called. It is a head. You wanted to toss. What would you like? Defer. Yeah. Black is 1. We'll defer. Which way do you want to kick? Which way would you like to kick? You want to kick that way? Put your back to the White will receive on here.
RPI won the coin toss and they deferred their choice to second half. They will defend the north end zone. St. Lawrence will receive the opening kickoff to defend the south end zone. This time the Army ROTC color guard, led by Cadet Thomas Moe, will present the colors for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor and respect our great nation and the men and women who have served and continue to serve America, please rise, remove your hats as the RPI Pep Band plays the national anthem of the United States of America. Reminder, we ask all fans stay off the playing field at all times this afternoon. For your safety, please do not go on the field at any point during or after today's game. Thank you. Number 46, Alexander Merrick, will kick off for RPI. Kickoff is covered. St. Lawrence will take over. First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Anyway, that's how we get underway here.
So St. Lawrence out on offense. Saints are led by their quarterback, Daniel Lawther. There will be a 4 wide receiver formation for St. Lawrence to start out today's game. First and 10 at the 28 for the Saints. And they'll fake the handoff throw. That is complete out to the 35, and Green is tackled. And he'll slow the progress will get him to the 36-yard line. So a pickup of 8 for St. Lawrence as it's Lawther to Green on first down.
And Daniel Green, one of the wide receivers. He's going to be one of the guys in the mix
Gain of
today.
8 on
Other
the
folks
play,
to look
second
for, the
down
running back
and
Peyton
2.
Schmidt, number 2, is their leading rusher, 455 yards on the season. Receivers, look out for TJ Cornacchia, number 81. By far their leading receiver in catches, 30, and also yardage, 303.
Second and 2 for St. Lawrence at the 36-yard line. No score just underway here at the East Campus Stadium. And it is Peyton Schmidt starting at running back. He's not listed on the 2 deep, but he is the man out there for St. Lawrence in the running back position. He's going to go out on second down, and he's going to get the pass in the flat.
Pass is complete to Schmidt.
35-yard line. C.J. Lyons moves up and down.
Tackled by number 2, C.J. Lyons.
RPI defense has kind of carried the way for the team this year.
Loss of 2 on the play. Third down and 4 at the St. Lawrence 35-yard line.
Touchdown, and that was a blowout against Buffalo State, 42-14. Otherwise, defense has really carried RPI through the year, been tough in every game. Expecting another good effort here this afternoon.
Third and 3 for St. Lawrence at their own 35-yard line. Schmidt next to Lawther in the backfield. Lawther's going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw. That's complete, but is that a first down? No, not a first down. Ott caught it, and he never got to the 38-yard line.
Well, credit right there to the RPI defense there. I trying to get the number on the tackle. I think that might have been C.J. Lyons, I believe.
Fourth down and 1.
He was being blocked by an up man as they were trying to set up the screen, but he kind of just shuck off the block and got to the receiver and brought him down at the 37.
So St. Lawrence sends the punt unit out. Tyler Liddy is listed as the punter. That is him back there. Kicks it away. Walker Sutton for RPI, the return man. This is going to bounce, and it's going to take St. Lawrence bounce, basically. It's going to be stopped at the 10-yard line by the Saints. It bounced around the 14, rolled beyond the 10, then came back and was touched at the 10-yard line. So a good kick there by Liddy. 12:35 to go here in the first quarter. No score, RPI versus St. Lawrence.
Boy, he really boomed that one. 54 yards is what it will go for. And he hit it so far over Walker Sutton's head in the air that he had no chance to really field it, and then it got, like you said, another extra bounce all the way down to the Engineers' 10. They're going left to right on the near side hash mark to open up here.
Kazinowski, the quarterback for RPI, out of the shotgun on first down, and he's going to give to Burnett. Burnett's going to go off the left side of the line, find some room, and he's to the 15. So that's a +5 for RPI on first down.
You know, Dylan Burnett has been their leading rusher all year, and, you know, we talked about a lot of things to play for even if the NCAA bid is out. Dylan Burnett has a shot at 1,000 yards rushing for the season, came in at 136, so 2 games to get the final 164 and go over the 1,000 mark for the year.
Second down and 5 for RPI. Single wideouts each side, slot men each side, and Burnett in the backfield. And Burnett's going to take the handoff again. He's going to go left side. He's got some help. He's got some push, and he's going to get a first down, and he's beyond the 20 to the 21. And it took a long time for that play to end, but that's a first down for RPI.
One of those where the line of RPI met the line of St. Lawrence at about the 19 and was able to just keep churning and pushing forward to help Burnett get across the 20 and get the first down.
First and 10 RPI at their own 21. 11:35 to go here in quarter number 1. No score between RPI and St. Lawrence. They are underway in Schenectady. That is Ithaca versus Union, which has playoff implications. RPI is going to give to Burnett on first down. Burnett's going to find another hole, and he's going to get 7 yards out to the 28.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Union playing Ithaca today. More or less for the conference title, sort of. If Ithaca wins, they have it. They will finish the conference season unbeaten and will have the automatic bid. If Union wins, then Union will have a shot at winning the automatic bid if it beats RPI next week.
Second and 3 for the Engineers. The sun's gone behind the clouds. It was sunny most of the morning. It's behind the clouds right now. RPI switching up. Walker Sutton's in there at the running back position. He takes the carry, and looks like they're going to mark him at the 31-yard line. As RPI has not shown anything other than basically running, running.
Well, and they will always like to establish the rush early in the ball game. It's always been their pattern.
RPI.
Plus, St. Lawrence is giving up almost 200 yards rushing a game.
You'd be foolish not to try. First and 10 RPI at their own 31. 10:25 to go, first quarter. No score. RPI's first possession of the game. Again, single wideouts each side, slot men each side. Handoff goes to Burnett. He had a hole that closed. He's only going to get 2 yards on this play. And the hole opened and closed, and Placide came in to stop him. So only a gain of 2 on that play. RPI's offense, that's Jake Kazinowski, the quarterback, Dylan Burnett, the running back. Wide receivers are DJ Palmer, Sterling Walker Sutton, and Peter Lombardi. The tight end is Shane Allison. RPI looking over to the sideline. Danny Beckenhuis, Rick Demboski, Thomas O'Lawson, Aiden Montero, and Luke Koschel are the line up front. Second and 8, ball on the 33 for RPI. No changes in formation, just some switching up of some personnel. Buckley was in there. Pass is tipped, and it goes incomplete. Looking for Palmer near the 38. But the tip, and then it was too far away from him. He couldn't grab it in time, and it goes incomplete.
I think that was defensive end Austin Riesenberger, number 80, who got a hand on that.
That puts RPI in a 3rd and long. They had a lot of leads last week against Ithaca. RPI had poor third down conversion percentage, and a lot of them were 3rd and long. Kazinowski to throw. Pass. That is complete to Hughes. Hughes pushes a man down, but he won't get to the first down. He's going to be stopped at the 39, and RPI is likely to punt in this situation.
Well, he was looking farther down the field, up towards midfield, but St. Lawrence had pretty good coverage. No one to really throw to, so he had to go out to the right flat to Hughes. Made the catch around the 34, able to get out to the 39, but as you said, 4th down now and 2. This early in the game, your side of the field, of course, you're going to punt. So you want to try to draw them off sides here, but they're punt expected. First punt of the day for the Engineers.
86. Sail yard.
So Burke is out to punt. Sail Yards is expecting the kick around his 30. Gets the snap. That's not a good kick at all. That's all more straight up in the air than anything else. Bounces on RPI side of the field, takes an RPI bounce in the St. Lawrence territory, and it'll be down at the 41. That was ugly all around.
Yeah, kind of hit off the right side of his foot and went straight up in the air. The line of scrimmage was the 39 of RPI. The ball, when it finally came down, hit at the RPI 46. Engineers getting a break in that it bounced forward down the field to the Saints 41. So it ends up going as a 20-yard punt and more than half of that on the roll. So St. Lawrence, good field position to start its second possession.
No score here, 8.5 to go, first quarter. Saints are at their own 41-yard line. Lothar with Schmidt behind him. Now he moves to his left, and Schmidt takes the handoff, finds some room, and he's straight ahead, and he gets to the 45.
Peyton Schmidt, as we mentioned, their primary running back this season, came into this game 109 carries for 455 total yards. He is a 6-foot senior out of Harrisville.
Second down and 6, ball at the 45-yard line for St. Lawrence. 4 wide out formation, Schmidt in the backfield. Lothar out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Schmidt. Lothar wants to throw. That pass, that's just complete in RPI territory. To the 40, to the 30, and Green is down inside the 30-yard line. They'll put him at the 28, and that's a first down for St. Lawrence.
And you know what made that play work? Do we have a flag here?
Helmet.
What we have is Green lost his helmet.
Okay.
So Green had to go off. That's what they're signaling. Green lost his helmet on the play, so he has to go off for one play.
What made that play work, Kurt, was Lowther and Schmidt on the fake handoff, because that baited a lot of the RPI line towards Schmidt, who was taking the ball to the left, and instead Lowther just rolls out to the right and had a wide open Green in RPI territory.
First and 10 at the 28 for St. Lawrence. No score here in the first quarter, and the handoff goes to Schmidt, and he'll get stopped at the 25.
Shoemaker and about 4 other engineers on the tackle there.
Tackled by Connor Noyes.
So first real threat of the
And
game, that completion from Lowther to Green, getting the first down at the 28. And if we're thinking ahead, just so you know, St. Lawrence, if it comes to this, they've got a pretty good kicker, 4 out of 5 on field goals so far this year, Fogler.
Second and 7 for St. Lawrence at the 25. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Seemed like that was a very long in-between plays time. It wasn't, but it just seemed like it. Lothar wants to throw on second down. He's got nobody to go for. He's going to keep it himself. To the 25, to the 20. Slides down near the marker. The slide started around the 18. That's where they'll mark him, and that's going to be a first down for St. Lawrence.
To the 18-yard line. First and 10 for the Saints.
Back-to-back first downs for the Saints. Again, taking over after that short punt, started this drive at their own 41. You know, it's this is one of those potential trap games as well, Kurt, for RPI. Big emotional game last week against Ithaca, with first place on the line. They've got the traditional rivalry against Union next week. St. Lawrence positioned right here in one of those games that, well, you could overlook them a little bit.
First and 10 for St. Lawrence. No score here in the first. Pass is incomplete. He was looking for call going across the field, and it was thrown behind him, and nobody could be there, so it falls incomplete on first down. The offense, for St. Lawrence. Danny Lothar is the quarterback. The running back is Peyton Schmidt. The wide receivers are Bobby Cole, Daniel Green, TJ Kornakia, and Tyler Liddy. And the line is Thomas Dockeray, James Berry, Joseph O'Rourke, Felix Montella, and Nate DeRue. Second and 10 for St. Lawrence at the RPI 18-yard line. No score first quarter. St. Lawrence first team in the red zone. Lothar is going to throw along the near sideline. That's complete, and in for the touchdown is Kornakia.
Well, there was a push on the side. The referee threw his hat down as if one of the players stepped out of bounds, but I think let's see what they're conferring here.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to go for the touchdown. Let's see.
Well, if the receiver stepped out, he's ineligible to catch the ball.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Yeah. That ball was thrown
Touchdown,
down near
St.
the
Lawrence.
near side pylon, right at the 1 yard line. And what happened there was the RPI defender didn't look back in time, and the St. Lawrence receiver turned around and got the ball, made the catch at the 1, stepped in for the touchdown.
Foghorn to try the extra point. Snap the spot. The kick is up. The kick not particularly pretty and not particularly good because that's no good. And it's going to stay 6-0 St. Lawrence with 5:50 to go in the first quarter.
Jack O'Brien, sorry,
Fans, remember
didn't
to follow
identify him before.
Rensselaer's
Jack
23
O'Brien
varsity athletic
in
teams,
for
their
the touchdown
schedules,
for
and all the
the
news
Saints.
by logging on to the Rensselaer webpage at rpiathletics.com.
So RPI down by 6 here at the East Campus Stadium. You were talking about a trap game. It would be interesting if that's the way this turned out because RPI and Coach Izerni talked about it in the pregame interview, has had trouble with St. Lawrence. They're 5-5 against St. Lawrence in their last 10. This has not been a team that RPI has dominated.
Yeah, it's been a good rivalry. As we said last year, RPI traveled up to Canton, still playing for the NCAA bid, and nearly lost. It went into double overtime before the Engineers prevailed 22-20.
Kickoff goes out of bounds. Does it? Yes. Kickoff goes out of bounds on the near side, so RPI will take this at the 35-yard line.
Ball is placed at the RPI.
So it was O'Brien 18 with the touchdown?
Out of bounds.
Okay, I transposed those numbers.
Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
I believe that's correct, yeah. That's what we've got listed in the live stats anyway.
Because I thought it was 81. RPI first and 10 at their own 35 as we're back to action here. Down 6-0. Kasanowski throws complete to Palmer along the sidelines, and he's going to be down at the 42.
Number 4, DJ Walker.
So RPI
Tackled by number 7, Ryan
looking to come from behind.
Gain of 7, second
As they're going to change formation. On the first drive, RPI stuck with 2 wideouts, 2 slot men, but now they're going to go to 3 wideouts, 1 slot man. And that is Allison, the tight end, technically in the slot on the right-hand side. Burnett, the running back for RPI. Kasanowski out of the shotgun. Throws again to Palmer. He's got the first down, and he's down at the 49. Didn't have a chance to step out of bounds. Ended up on the ground.
Gain is to the 49-yard line of RPI. First and 10 for the Engineers.
Remember, much like last year in Canton, Lauder put our St. Lawrence early ahead and touchdown in the first quarter.
Burnett on first down is going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to mark him back to the line of scrimmage, but I'm not sure he actually made it there, to be honest with you. It's probably a favorable spot for RPI. So that was first down for the Engineers at their own 49, pardon me. 4:45 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 St. Lawrence leads. RPI is going back to the 2 slot back formation. And single wideouts each side. Fake the handoff to Burnett. Kasanowski's under pressure. Kasanowski's going down back at the 38-yard line. He's going to get sacked and lose a bunch of yards. That was Placide who came in and caught him all alone. And RPI is now in another 3rd and long.
Loss of 11 on the play. 3rd down and 21 for the Engineers.
Wind is really blowing out there because the official had to stand over the ball to make sure it didn't move.
16 miles an hour at the start of the game, and it looks like if you're judging it by the flag, it almost looks even stronger than that right now, going from our right to left across your radio dial. So RPI going into the wind right now.
Before RPI could get to the ball moved, so they had to reset the ball. RPI on 3rd and long. Kazagnowski throws short, and whoa, breaking one tackle, breaking a second tackle, but then Goldsmith gets caught at the 45, and that'll be short of where the original line of scrimmage or the start of the series of downs, and RPI is sending out the punt team again.
A little wide receiver screen on the left side on the far hash, and then he cuts it back across the middle, kind of angling to the near hash. Almost broke it enough to get the first down. Well, you notice that the Engineers setting up here to punt.
So America's out to punt into the wind again. Let's see if he has better fortunes. He does. And this is going to be taken at the 35-yard line and moving forward with sail yards, but he's going to get stopped at around. Where am I going to put him? They're going to stop him. They're going to put him right at the 38. So St. Lawrence will start out at the 38-yard line.
38-yard line.
Just a clarification from our neighbors here in the press box, the St. Lawrence coaching staff. It was Cornacchia, number 81. You were right. The live stats had it down. It's a stat program that updates as we're going along here. Had it down as number 18, O'Brien, which would have been a little unusual. He's not been a real popular target for Lowther. On the other hand, Cornacchia is their leading receiver.
So it wasn't me.
That's right. It wasn't you.
1st and 10, 6-0 RPI trails here in the first quarter. 1st and 10, St. Lawrence at the 38. They'll the pass complete to Green, and he stopped after a gain of about 2 out to the 40-yard line.
Pass is complete to number 5, Green. It's a gain of 2. Tackled by.
Just remembering right at 1 year ago, last year up in Canton.
St. Lawrence 40-yard line.
St. Lawrence scored, I believe, on the opening drive. I'm pretty sure Lowther in with the run, and the Saints had a 7-0 lead. RPI didn't score until the second quarter, tying it at 7, and then there were no more scores until we went to overtime.
2nd down and 7, ball at the 41-yard line for St. Lawrence. That was a pickup of 3 on 1st down. They're going to go to Schmidt on this. He goes to the right, breaks one tackle, and now he's going to be down at the 40. They'll give forward progress to the 41. So no loss, no gain on that play, and it'll be 3rd and long for St. Lawrence.
And 52, Lou Biggin. No gain on the play. 3rd down.
So RPI putting St. Lawrence in the position they've been in a number of times already today. A very quick moving first quarter. Minute and a half left to go, game time, and we are 23 minutes past the hour. Third down and 7, 4 wide out formation. They're going to go short to Schmidt, and he is going to be down for a loss. He's back at the 40-yard line, and maybe inside the 40 by about half a yard. And so St. Lawrence is sending out the punt team.
4th and 9 for the Saints. Cole McGrath on the tackle for the Engineers. Sterling Walker Sutton back deep.
So back to punt is Liddy with the wind. Walker Sutton is back very deep. Spiraling kick. Bounces, goes right through Walker Sutton's legs. Did he touch it? It goes into the end zone. St. Lawrence will wisely cover, and it turns out Walker Sutton did not touch that ball. If he did, he's a great actor. But it'll be a touchback. RPI gets it at the 20.
Yeah, St. Lawrence punt coverage team signaling for the touchdown. Walker Sutton
Punt goes into the end zone for a touchback. RPI
kind of striding off the field like, what are you talking about? Kind of calmly like, no, of course I didn't touch it.
So RPI's got it at the 20, down 6-0 with 34 seconds left in the first half. Engineers back to the double, 2 men in the slot positions. Handoff goes to Burnett, and he'll get stopped for a loss back at the 18-yard line,
Tackled by number 7,
which will probably be the last play of the first quarter.
Losses back to the 18-yard line. 2nd down.
As RPI, they set the ball. The play clock is not running. It should not be running. It is, but it should not be running because It was below 40 seconds when the play ended. RPI is not going to snap the ball, and with what is very clearly a heavy wind here, they're going to go and switch sides, and RPI is going to get the wind in the second quarter. 6-0 St. Lawrence leads after one quarter.
Well, deja vu, right? First weekend of November game against St. Lawrence, and at the end of one quarter, it's the Saints who are ahead by one touchdown, just like last year. Take a look at some quick stats here. Not a whole lot other than the passing yards for the Saints. Each team with 3 first downs. Rushing yards in the first quarter, 14 for St. Lawrence, 10 for RPI. Receiving yards, 55 for the Saints, including that touchdown pass, 18 yards from Lowther to Cornacchia. 27 yards for the Engineers. Both quarterbacks really off to an efficient start. Lowther 7 of 8.
Hey fans, a reminder, Ben & Jerry's is
Kaznowski
located
4
inside
of
Student
5
Union.
for
Don't forget,
the
stop
Engineers.
by, grab your
They have fixed the live stats on the touchdown.
So now we're up to date, up to speed.
Cornacchia
made a great move on that pass to come back to the ball at the near side pylon at the 1 to make the catch and then step into the end zone for the touchdown.
So second quarter is about to begin. It'll be RPI right to left, St. Lawrence left to right across your radio dial. RPI with the wind. If you're familiar with the East Campus layout, it's RPI basically going north and St. Lawrence south. The wind tends to blow south to north here. So 2nd and 12 for RPI. Kaznowski throws. That is complete. Gets it out to the 25. Nagelski on the grab, and he'll be at the 26, and RPI will be down with another 3rd down.
Not the original intended target, but Kaznowski did a good job of spying the field and looking for the open man and finding him.
27-yard line, 3rd down and 3.
RPI a couple of first downs on their first drive, and after that it's been tough for them to get yardage. 4 wide out formation. Burnett leaves the backfield, goes in the flat on the far side. Kaznowski throws. That is complete, and that'll be a first down for the Engineers to the 39-yard line. And that was Ninchi on the reception for RPI out to the 39, and chains move.
One of the Saints' defensive backs almost got a hand on that, but Ninchi kind of coming back to the ball at around the 40 to step in, make the catch, and get the ball to the 39.
1st and 10, RPI at their own 39. 6-0 they trail. 13:55 to go in the first half. We talked to you before. It was a tight game last year up in Canton, 22-20 in double overtime. Burnett on first down takes the carry and can't find a hole. Nothing there. Ben Munn on defense stopped him.
PI with his helmet off.
And timeout on the field, an RPI player lost his helmet, and he has to go off for a play.
Dylan Burnett, 22 yards rushing, leading carrier so far in this ball game. Expects to continue to get a lot of action here this afternoon for the Engineers.
2nd and 9, RPI at the 40-yard line. Kaznowski scanning the field, doesn't find anybody, and he had Burnett open on the far sideline the whole time. Flags coming out probably against RPI. Kaznowski's going to run. He'll go out near the first down marker, but I have a feeling this is a holding call, and it's all coming back.
Well, had a lot of time, and when he scrambled, that's when the protection started to break down, the flag going down at about the 35 of the Engineers. Let's see where they step it off.
Well, everybody's backing up.
Yep.
Darren Tyson is the referee
Offense,
for today's game.
52, 10 yards from the previous spot. Play, 2nd down.
So they'll signal holding against RPI, and that'll be a loss of 10.
Moves the ball back to the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 19.
As I mentioned, actually loss of 9. They're going to say it was at the 40. Okay. As I mentioned, there was a gain of 1 on first down, so it is a minus 10 back to the 30. Burnett was open the whole time, or at the beginning of that scramble, and Kaznowski really didn't look to his right. Now on 2nd down and long, he's going to throw. This time he looks in that direction, finds a man, and picks up some of the yards. I think that's Ninchi? No, Nagelski.
Was it was it not Goldsmith, I believe?
Goldsmith,
Number 0,
okay.
yeah.
Having trouble with the 0, 6s, and 8s.
Yeah.
When the shirt bunches up, it's difficult to tell.
First catch for Goldsmith. Leads the Engineers with 3rd and long here. 3rd and 11 from their own 38.
Yeah. And they lived in 3rd and long last week against Ithaca. Four wideouts. Burnett in the backfield. Low snap. Kazanowski picks it up. Looking downfield. Now he's going to roll out of the pocket to the sideline. Stays on his feet. Steps out. And he never got back to the... I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. No, he didn't. He lost one. So it'll be 4th and long, and RPI is punting.
Nicholas Ames, number 36, a linebacker for the Saints, finally shoving Kazanowski out of bounds. Will go as a sack, I'm sure, because there's a loss of 1 there, and it'll be 4th and 12 for the Engineers.
Merrick back to punt again. Sail yards is around his 27, waiting for the kick. Good snap. Kicks away. Sail yards signals for a fair catch, and he'll take it inside the 25. We have 11:09 to go here in the first half. St. Lawrence 6, RPI nothing.
Well, we'll see how the Engineers defense regroups here. Giving up a touchdown last drive to the Saints, who marched the ball down the field pretty efficiently. Lowther connecting on 7 of 8 passing attempts so far in this ball game.
First and 10 for the Saints at their 24. Lowther hands off to a new running back. That is Junta. And he'll be stopped at the 25-yard line for a pickup of 1.
Cameron Junta, a 5'10 junior out of Medfield, Massachusetts. 172 yards of rushing so far in the year for Junta.
If he had 800, he'd be starting.
Yeah.
St. Lawrence back to the line of scrimmage. 6-0 they lead. 10.5 to go first half. 2 receivers each side. Junta in the backfield. He'll shift to the left of Lowther. And Lowther with the snap. 3-man rush by RPI. Lawther's under pressure. Gets away from it. Rolls out to his left. Throws out of bounds. So RPI with good pressure forces him to throw that away, and it'll be 3rd down and long for St. Lawrence.
Yeah, Brian McNeil, a junior, was coming in from the defensive right side, had some pressure on Lowther. Lowther with some sort of fancy footwork to just evade the sack there and throw the ball away, setting up now a 3rd down, and we'll call it 9 here from the 25.
Monty Conquo, Nate Sicard, and Josh Cohen are the line up front for RPI, but we don't believe Sicard is playing today. CJ Schumacher, Cole McGrath, Joe Diptula, and Connor Noyes are the players in the middle for the RPI defense. 3rd down and long. Junta gets the ball, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll be all for this possession for St. Lawrence. Cornerbacks for RPI are CJ Lyons and Carlos Davis, and the safeties are Spencer Brockdorf and Jimmy Levlow.
Josh Cohen leading the way on the tackle. Gang tackle of Junta for a loss there and setting up 4th down. So nice recovery by the RPI defense. The previous drive, they allowed the Saints to march 59 yards for a touchdown. This time it's going to be a 3 and out and a sort of negative net yardage on this drive for the Saints.
Snap back to the kicker, Liddy. It's going to be taken by Walker Sutton near his own 45. He's going to get a couple of yards moving forward. RPI will be in pretty good field position at their own 48. We have 9:27 to go here in the first half. 6-0 St. Lawrence leads.
Yeah, well, it shows you the difference of kicking into the wind, doesn't it? The first quarter punt went for 54 yards for the Saints. That one here and now in the second quarter against the wind, just 34 yards.
RPI looking to take advantage of the wind in this second quarter. as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 48.
Best starting field position of the day for the Engineers.
Kazagnowski hands off on 1st down. We have Walker Sutton as the running back position now? Yes. That was Walker Sutton, and he's going to get 2 yards out to the 50.
We've seen him take a carry now a couple of times. It's kind of unusual for the season. Sterling came in with just 8 carries, and often most of those were when he lined up in that wildcat formation with a direct snap to the running back.
RPI looking at a 2nd down now, and 8. This is a 3-receiver formation. Allison in the slot to the left. Kazagnowski wants to throw. Buckley stays in to block in the running back position, and it was in the hands of Palmer, and he dropped it around the 40.
Turned to run just a little too soon. He was wide open there at the near side hash right at the St. Lawrence 40. Hit him in the hands, but he knew he had some room to run, and he turned to his left shoulder to take off before completing the catch, so it goes as an incompletion. Big play here early in the 2nd quarter. I mean, it's 3rd and 8 at the 50-yard line. Can they keep this drive going and make a push to the red zone?
4 wide receiver formation. RPI has Ming in the backfield. Kazagnowski is going to get sacked. He's sacked back at the 43-yard line. Munn came in, found him before he had a chance to throw, and RPI's punt team is getting a lot of action today. They're back out there again.
Yeah, Ben Munn, number 56, a junior linebacker, in for the sack for the Saints. And then the Engineers started with the ball on their own 48, best starting field position of any drive today for RPI, and they end up going backwards 5 yards.
Burke with the wind. Kicks it, and it's a fair catch by Sale Yards at about the 18-yard line. I think I called him Merrick before Burke. I'm getting this all confused. By the way, if you listened last week, and at one point I called Burke on the reception, that was Lombardi. They were both number 7, and we didn't think Lombardi was going to play last week, so when 7 was out there, it went to Burke, who we knew was playing, but it was actually Lombardi. So a little correction there from last week's game. So it's been Burke punting, not Merrick. At least I got the touchdown right.
That's right.
I got the touchdown right. 6-0 St. Lawrence leads. They've got the ball at their own 18-yard line with 7:57 to go in the first half. Lothar looking to throw, and he throws that. It lands at the 44. It was in bounds, but the receivers weren't anywhere close to that.
Yeah, that was Carnaccio on the near side who pulled up at about the 35, was thinking the route was going to be shorter, and I think Lowther, under pressure, just heaved that one to get rid of it and avoid the sack. So he clearly overthrew his man, who was only at about the 35. The ball went about 10 yards beyond.
So back to 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line for St. Lawrence. Handoff. Schmidt on 2nd down. Weaves his way, goes to the right and then moves between a couple of RPI defenders, and he's going to be stopped at the 22. So this game, St. Lawrence leads 6-0, except for that one drive. Everything else is basically how quickly can we get into a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, and especially the Engineers have really not gotten anything going after their initial possession, where they ripped off a couple of first downs, mainly relying on Burnett's running. But the RPI offense kind of now hitting a slog, not moving the ball well.
St. Lawrence with a 3rd and 6 at their own 22. Lothar's going to roll to the left out of the shotgun. Throws. That is complete, and that'll be a first down. Carnaccio on the far side is out of bounds at the 31.
T.J. Carnaccio, a senior, 6'2", out of Darien, Connecticut. He's been Lothar's favorite target all season. Came into this game with 30 receptions and 300 yards receiving. That would be he's the one who caught the touchdown in the first quarter. And a nice out route to the far sideline to get that first down up at the 31.
So St. Lawrence moves the chains. 6:40 to go, first half. St. Lawrence leads 6-0. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. Walther out of the shotgun. Gives to Schmidt. Schmidt goes to the left, now straight ahead, and he's going to get out to the 35, and that's a +4.
I mentioned that Lawther is off to a terrific start. The Saints quarterback 8 of 11 passing for a touchdown and 64 total yards in this first half.
Gain of 4, second down and 6.
For the most part, he's had enough time to throw, and on the times where he has been pressured by the engineers, he's just gotten rid of the ball. Thrown it out of bounds, make sure you won't take the sack or won't get intercepted.
Second down and 6 at the 35-yard line. Two receivers each side. Schmidt in the backfield. They give it to Schmidt again, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Is that McNeil for RPI? Nope, that was Cohen.
97 Cohen.
Cohen on the tackle.
Yep. So 3rd and 5 for the Saints at their own 36. Got to figure they're going to try to put it in the air here. Lowther's favorite targets have been Carnaccia and Green so far in this first half.
3rd down and 5. Tight end on the left. One receiver over there. He'll move towards the line. Two receivers on the right. Handoff goes to Schmidt. Schmidt's got the first down. Just ran straight ahead. Brockdorf was the first person who touched him right around when he got to the first down marker, and he got a couple more after that. So St. Lawrence moves the chains. 4:50 to go here in the first half. 6-0. St. Lawrence leads.
Well, a smart play call there. They had wide receivers spread out to the left or the right. Handoff to Schmidt. As long as he got through the initial line of scrimmage, he had enough room to break into the secondary and get the first down, and that's exactly what happened.
1st and 10, St. Lawrence at their own 44. They're up by 6. Handoff goes to Junta. Junta goes left, turns the corner along the sidelines, and where did he step out? The official's coming in. That's a first down in RPI territory. He's out of bounds around the 40.
Well, credit Junta there, really showing some acceleration. It was more or less a sweep around the left end, and he looked bottled up around the 50, and he just accelerated, got around the corner, past the RPI defenders, and all of a sudden was into the secondary all the way down to the Engineers' 40 before he was bumped out.
St. Lawrence doing it on the ground on this drive. They're now at the 40 of RPI. 4:05 to go, first half. 6-0, St. Lawrence leads. They'll go with the same formation. Tight end on the left, 3 receivers on the right. Junta in the backfield. Junta's going to go left again. Tries to turn this upfield, and this time RPI's ready, and they'll stop him for no gain.
Yeah, I believe it was C.J. Lyons, the cornerback, coming up for the tackle right there.
Tackled by number 2, C.J. Lyons. Second down and 10.
St. Lawrence going against the wind. So the range, we're coming down to 3:25 to go in the half. So the effective range for a kick is shorter. And they are certainly not there now. Again, same formation, and another handoff to Schmidt. This time he's going to go straight up the middle, and he'll be stopped at the 36.
A good push forward by the St. Lawrence line. He initially was met, rather Schmidt was met at about the 39, but the line kept pushing him forward all the way to the 36, making it now a 3rd and 6 for St. Lawrence.
Crowd getting behind the Engineers. We have what we'd expect for a November crowd. There are St. Lawrence fans on the opposite side. 3rd down and 6. 4 wide receiver formation. Fake the handoff to Schmidt. Lawther is going to run out to his right, puts it up in the air, and it's out of play. Incomplete on 3rd down, so now it's 4th down. And if you're St. Lawrence, I think you go for it here.
Connor Noyes, number 54, was just desperately chasing Lowther, Lowther was rolling to his right, and Noyes was closing quickly. Lowther just had to unload it down the right sideline. So now 4th and 6, and they are going to go for it. certainly too far for a field goal, and they're deciding, we're not just going to punt it away here.
You're 3 and 5. Go for it. 4 wide receivers. Schmidt is in the backfield. Lothar looking left, throws. That is complete. Carnaccia has it, and he's got a first down to the 23.
What a nice route by Carnaccia. He was lined up wide left, sprinted down the field to the 25, and just kind of turned back in. Lothar also was looking at Schmidt coming out of the backfield, and I think that attracted a lot of the attention of the RPI linebackers because they were closing on Schmidt. And at just the right time, Lothar looked off Schmidt and found Carnaccia a little farther down the field, and enough for a first down at the 23.
6-0, St. Lawrence leads. 1:55 to go in the half. 1st and 10 for St. Lawrence at the RPI 23-yard line. Four wide receiver formation. Handoff goes to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to run, get to the 20, just inside the 20-yard line. St. Lawrence has all their timeouts, as does RPI, as we're losing time here in the first half.
Yeah, 1:30 and counting. And we'll see if St. Lawrence has any sense of urgency here. Kind of taking their time getting the signal from the sideline. They're going left to right, which means into the wind right now. Their kicker is 4 out of 5 on field goals this year, but as long as it's just 31 yards.
They're right now at a 36-yard distance against the wind.
Yep.
4 wide receivers. Schmidt in the backfield drops out. He's going to catch the ball, maybe picks up a yard or two down near the 18-yard line. We're under a minute to go here in the first half, and St. Lawrence is going to call a timeout. So the head coach for St. Lawrence, Dan Puckhaber, is going to call a timeout and talk this one over with 55 seconds left in the half.
First timeout of the half.
Yeah, there's a little flare. Schmidt coming out of the backfield, making the catch in the left flat, and Shoemaker was all over him to make the tackle at the 18. So here we are, 55 seconds to go in the half. St. Lawrence 6, RPI 0. And St. Lawrence threatening again. 3rd down and 5 from the Engineers' 18. As Kurt and I just mentioned, they have a pretty good kicker in the sense of Cameron Fogler is 4 out of 5 on the year, but his longest is just 31 yards. And right now you'd be looking at about a 35. If they get nothing on this play, you're looking at about a 35-yarder against the wind. So this might end up being 2-down territory for the Saints.
We talk about kicking with St. Lawrence. Kicking cost St. Lawrence last year in this game because they could have won it on the last play, and they missed a kick.
36-yard field goal that went awry at the end of regulation. The game ended up going into double overtime.
So 3rd down and 5 at the 18-yard line with 55 seconds left for St. Lawrence as they lead 6-0 in the first half. 3 wide receivers, single tight end. Give us to Schmidt. Schmidt's not going to get the first down running straight ahead. He's going to get stopped at the 17. And now if you're St. Lawrence, what do you do? Clock is still running.
I'm wondering why they're not calling timeout.
Well, it's 4th down. If they don't get whatever they're going to do here, you're leaving time on the clock. Although if you would go for it and not make it, you've got even RPI very little time. Now RPI is going to call a timeout.
I understand what you're saying about not leaving RPI time, but if you
Their first time
They
out.
don't. They're going to be deep in their own territory with very little time.
right, but at the same time, we're thinking backwards now because the time's already drifted off. But if they'd stop the clock with 45 seconds, you got an option of
Clock to 34
running a play,
seconds.
and you don't have to. You could run a play for about 5 or 6 yards, get a first down, call a timeout again, and still have time to go for yet another play into the end zone. Now you're 4th down, and you've got 32 seconds left. And it's, that play, it was just a run up the middle with Schmidt, made me think that was, all they were hoping for was to push forward a little bit and get a closer play for 4th down, because that it was never looked like a play where they were really going to bust it open for a touchdown or even get enough yardage for a first down. It looked like one of those where you just want to inch it a little closer to set up a shorter 4th down attempt.
St. Lawrence comes out. There's 34 seconds left. St. Lawrence is out for 4th down and 4 at the RPI 17.
2 receivers right or left. Watch out for Carnaccia on the far right here.
Lothar takes the snap. He's going to roll right, looking for Carnaccia, and it's underthrown and incomplete. And St. Lawrence turns it over on downs with 30.6 seconds left.
Well, he had Carnaccia down at the 10 and underthrew it. Was under some pressure as he was rolling to the right, but otherwise it looked like that play was developing just like the Saints wanted it. But again, underthrown. Carnaccia never really had a chance, dove for it, but the ball was well short of him at the 10.
So RPI with 30.6 seconds left. Coming out, they've got 2 timeouts and the wind. Single wide out to each side. Kazagnowski out of the shotgun. 2 slot men. Kazagnowski's looking to throw. Throws it, and it's incomplete. First of all, it wasn't caught cleanly. Second, if he had caught it, I think he stepped out prior to. I thought he stepped out prior to getting the ball, but maybe not. Anyway, it's incomplete, so whether he stepped out or not is irrelevant. 23.1 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, Dean Ninchi, I believe he was out of bounds. It wouldn't have been a legal completion anyway. So now 23 seconds to go in the half. See if the Engineers take to the air again or just let this run out.
You have to think they only have 2 downs to play with here. Depending on how you stop the clock, you don't want to give St. Lawrence the ball here. RPI is going to run it on second down. Burnett takes it, and he's going to get stopped at the 18. Nobody's stopping the clock right now. St. Lawrence could to force RPI to punt.
But it looks like they won't.
So time is winding down in the half. Teams are going to the locker room, and that's it. This half will end with St. Lawrence up 6-0, and that was played in about 51 minutes.
Well, you know, we talked at the start of this game. RPI had a big matchup against Ithaca last week with first place on the line, a tough, close, disappointing 3-point loss. And next week they have the big rivalry game against Union. So you're worried, is this St. Lawrence game a bit of a trap? The Saints coming in at 3-5 overall. And, you know, look, so far the Engineers' offense has really struggled this afternoon. Just 56 yards passing, rushing. They also have just a total of 6. They've been sacked 3 times. Kazagnowski's been sacked 3 times. So a lot of offensive struggles for the Engineers. Meanwhile, St. Lawrence had one great drive, a 59-yard drive for a touchdown, 18-yard pass from Lowther to Carnaccia for the only score. That's been the one drive of significance this afternoon. And again, it's RPI a little bit in a slog right here, trailing the Saints 6-0 at halftime.
Please welcome.
So time for us to take a break, and as they take a break here as well. So we'll be back with you for the second half shortly. We'll run down what's going on in Liberty League football during halftime. The score here after one half of play, it is St. Lawrence 6 and RPI nothing. And you're listening to live coverage of Engineer football on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
The RPI dance team. Now we direct your attention to the 30-yard line. Please welcome Rebecca Saper. Rebecca will attempt to win a 2022 Honda for an entire year by kicking the ball through the uprights. Rebecca, that's a good effort. Thank you. Let's have a round of applause for Rebecca Safer. Thank you for participating in today's Rensselaer Honda field goal attempt. And you can drive away today or come and see any of Honda's amazing automobiles just a mile east of ECAV Stadium at Rensselaer Honda, 770 Hoosick Road, Troy, or visit them online at getahonda.net. Come experience why Rensselaer Honda is simply better. And now please welcome the RPI cheer team. The RPI cheer team.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to welcome the Army ROTC program, who will recognize 6 cadets who are taking the oath of office and committing to serve as officers in the United States Army. This commitment is taken by very few who will vow to support and defend the Constitution, the American people, and our way of life. Leading this milestone ceremonial event is Captain F.A. Ogre.
Let's welcome the RPI Pep Band. like I'm one back and forth. Fogler will kick off for St. Lawrence, the one. Walker Sutton and Cyril Goldsmith back deep for the Engineers.
Sutton, pardon me, along the far sideline, and he gets out to about the 44. So RPI starts out with good field position to start out this second half, trailing 6-0.
Boy, that kickoff return was set up nicely. Walker Sutton taking the ball on the far side between the numbers and the hash mark, and he had a slot there where he just cut through at the 20 and all of a sudden was just flying all the way out to the 40 before being brought down at the 43.
So 1st and 10, RPI at the 43 on their own side of the field.
I get a chance to look at some individual stats. Ben Munn and Brian Placide and Victor Gambaroni leading the way in tackles with St. Lawrence with 4 apiece. Connor Noyes had 7 for the Engineers.
On first down, Burnett's going to take the carry. He's going to run right along the sidelines, and he's got a first down, stays on his feet, and finally pushed out on the St. Lawrence side of the field. He's out at the 41 of St. Lawrence. So is that the best gain for RPI today?
It is. I was just going to say that, about a 16-yard pickup. Burnett, for example, had just 23 total yards rushing in that first half. So a nice start for the Engineers. just looking, body language-wise, looking a lot more fired up as we start here the second half after a tough first half.
1st and 10 at the 41 for RPI, and on the ground, Burnett is going to get pushed forward. It looked like he was going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, but now instead he gets to the 35 for 6 yards.
Continuing a little bit here on the individual stats in the first half, Burnett was the Engineers' leading rusher with 23 yards. In terms of receptions, Gil Goldsmith had 2 catches for 15. DJ Palmer had 2 for 14. Jake Kazanowski, 7 completions out of 10 attempts. Over on the St. Lawrence side, Daniel Lowther, 10 out of 15, leading the way passing for St. Lawrence. Their leading receiver in well, there was 3 guys with 3 actually. Daniel Green, TJ Cornacchia, and Peyton Schmidt, all with 3 catches. Cornacchia and Green had 40 yards receiving. Cornacchia had included the 1 touchdown of this ball game on an 18-yard pass. Their rushing leader in the first half was Peyton Schmidt with 32 yards rushing, followed by Cameron Junta with 7. And the reason why we're at a lull now is there's a St. Lawrence player down on the field. They're looking at his left knee, left calf area, kind of laid out in the middle of the field and not moving right now. It looks like a lot of pain. We can't identify the number right now. He's lying on his back, and we're kind of blocked by the trainer and the assistant coach out there.
The St. Lawrence defense, I didn't give this to you in the first half. Brian Placide, Reese Gillette, and Austin Riesenberger are up front. The linebackers are Ryan Watson, Brian Kazaza, Ben Munn, and Bennett Cheer. The cornerbacks are Victor Gambaroni and Grady Harrington, and the safeties are Dan George and Colin, let me get this right, Waynack.
I believe that's Riesenberger, perhaps, number 80.
Yeah, it looks like 80.
Being helped off the field, keeping his weight off of that left knee. So tough break for him. He's out of the ball game and headed towards the sideline tent for the Saints.
2nd and 4. Ball on the 35, pardon me. Scoreboard's wrong. Ball's on the 35 for RPI. Kazanowski takes a snap, designed run. He's going to go ahead, go to the right, but he's not going to get a first down. He's going to get stopped short of the first down. Gambaroni in on the tackle there for St. Lawrence. Some out-of-town scores. They've gone to the half over in Schenectady. Union leads Ithaca 21-14 at the half. Also, Hartwick leads Rochester 13-9, and relatively just underway, Hobart's at Buffalo State. 3rd down and 2, a rare 3rd and short for RPI. Kazanowski throws and almost picked off. He was looking for a Walker Sutton, and instead he found Daniel George, who almost picked it off. And had he done that, he was going to get a lot of yards over there.
Well, you know what happened is Walker Sutton had 2 steps on him and was wide open, but the ball was overthrown. The only reason Daniel George didn't intercept it is he was looking at the receiver, thinking he was beat probably on the play until the last second when he sees the ball coming to him. Tries to make a grab, but he spun around and couldn't corral it. So a little bit of a break, and they're going to go for it on 4th down.
4th and 2 at the 33. RPI is going for it. This is going to be on the ground, and that's going to be a first down for RPI. Burnett took the handoff, and he's going to make it to the 30-yard line. So RPI converts on 4th down and keeps the drive moving.
And how about a little bit of a hand there for Colton Nazelski? He had a block there on the left side, kind of fencing out the defensive end cornerback on that left side, allowing Burnett to cut inside and get down to the 30 for the first down. This is the deepest penetration into Saints territory this afternoon for RPI. Again, they basically did nothing but punt every time they had the ball in the first half.
1st and 10 RPI at the Saints 30. 12:53 to go. This is a direct snap to Burnett, and that'll gain RPI a little over 2 yards. 6-0 St. Lawrence leads.
In the first half, the Engineers' longest drive was just 7 plays for 29 yards. Kind of getting close. They might have it exactly 29 right now, right? They started at 43, so they're right at about 29 yards on this drive right here.
So 2nd and 8 for RPI. They are back to the double slot position formation. I did not say that the way I wanted to. Pass is complete to Burnett on the far side. Flag on the play, and Burnett's down at the 25. Two flags, actually.
Yeah, there's contact. It might be Goldsmith, who's trying to set a block, the other wide receiver. I don't know if he got flagged for an illegal block or if he got hit in the back. I don't know. It was kind of a crash of about 4 or 5 people right there.
I thought that was an emphatic flag throwdown by the official.
And I said Goldsmith. I'm wrong. Again, sometimes it's a little hard with the numbers to differentiate the 0 from the 6 from the 8 here for the Engineers.
They are still discussing this one at the 30-yard line as everybody waits with anticipation, wondering what the call is going to be.
It was Colton Nazelski.
Okay, we are about ready here.
Personal foul, blindside block with targeting. Number 8.
Okay, so it's a personal foul hit to the
Number
head.
Number 8 has been
or
disqualified.
blocked to the head. It's against RPI.
Yeah, I believe it was Nazelski there who was coming in from his receiver position to try to set a block for Burnett. Or I'm sorry, Walker Sutton on that play. So instead of inside the 30, the Engineers are going to be walked backwards all the way to the St. Lawrence 42. Second down and 22.
RPI, 4 wideout formation. Burnett in the backfield. Kazagnowski out of the shotgun. Now Goldsmith is going to shift to the near side, put 3 players on the left. Kazagnowski throws. That is complete to Walker Sutton, and he's inside the 20, and he's down to the 15. So they get all those yards back, and it's a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
He ran a deep pattern just to the open spot of the zone on the right hash mark, far side, behind the initial coverage. And a perfect pass from Kazagnowski.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Handoff to Burnett. He goes left, breaks a couple of tackles, gets hit, and he'll be down inside the 10, right around the 7-yard line. So RPI takes the personal foul and then comes out with 2 big plays.
Dylan Burnett had 23 yards rushing in the first half. He's got 27 alone in this drive.
2nd down and 2 at the St. Lawrence 7-yard line. RPI trailing 6-0 as we are underway in the 3rd quarter.
Best drive of the day for the Engineers. See if they can tie this score up.
And potentially take the lead with a conversion. And the handoff goes to Burnett. He'll get caught on 2nd and 2. He never made it downfield. What do we have here? That was Ames.
Nicholas Ames, 36, a linebacker. That one didn't fool anyone.
Now RPI is in a 3rd and 3. RPI with the win this quarter.
Even though the downs keeper on the far side still has it at 2nd down, the scoreboard is correct at 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 3, RPI at the 8 of St. Lawrence. Lombardi's in there right now for RPI. He has not played as much as he would back when he was healthy. Throw end zone and missed Palmer. Palmer was open in the end zone. Kazagnowski missed him.
He was lined up wide left, sprinted right into the end zone, and then cut across towards the post. And yeah, there was a real gap. He was open. But Kazagnowski firing it a little ahead of him, just leading him a little bit too much.
So that makes it 4th and 3 at the 8, and RPI is keeping the offense out there.
They were 1 out of 3 on field goal attempts last week. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
2 wideouts each side. Burnett's in the backfield. Kazagnowski wants to throw. Looking downfield. He's got a man. That's a 1st down. Goldsmith has it inside the 5. He'll get pushed back, but most importantly, he got the 1st down at the 3, and it'll be 1st and goal RPI.
Nice adjustment by Kazagnowski because he looked far to the right to Burnett, his running back, who ran out to the flat, but he was pretty well covered. And so instead of forcing the ball, Kazagnowski looks back towards the middle, and there was Goldsmith right in the middle of the field at about the 4, fights to get it down to the 3, 1st and goal for the Engineers.
So gambling on 4th down pays off for now, as RPI's got 4 chances to get it in. They're going to start at the 3-yard line. 9:45 to go 3rd quarter. 6-0 St. Lawrence leads. Single wideouts each side. You've got Burnett in the backfield. They fake to Burnett. Kazagnowski looking downfield under pressure. He's going to get hit, and he's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 5.
St. Lawrence defense jumping up and down, asking for a hold because it did look like one of their linemen got taken down at about the 5, but no flag, so RPI getting maybe the benefit there.
Second and goal.
So 2nd and goal from the 5. RPI will have 3 receivers on the left. Burnett's in the backfield, Allison a tight end on the right. Jazygnowski out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks right, looks over the middle, caught, complete, and that's a touchdown. RPI finds Allison at the goal line, and RPI ties it at 6.
Allison lined up on the right side, just sprinted about a yard or 2 into the goal line and then ran back towards the ball, making the catch just across the goal line for the touchdown, and the Engineers have tied it here at 6 apiece.
Now Merrick, the kicker, will come out to try the extra point and put RPI up. Snap, spots down, kick is up, and the kick is good. RPI takes the lead with 8:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. They're up 7-6.
Second touchdown of the year for the tight end, Allison. Nice little route. Again, he was lined up tight on the right side, sprinted into the end zone 2 or 3 steps, and then ran back towards his quarterback, making the catch just across the goal line for the Engineers touchdown. And best drive, of course, by far for the Engineers, 57 yards for the score on the opening possession of the second half, and they took up more than 6 minutes on that possession as well. They gambled for it on 4th down and converted that inside the 10. So obviously a much better looking offensive performance here by the Engineers as we start the second half after a really sluggish first half.
How many total yards did RPI have in the first half?
I'm going to have to look it up, but I want to say it was in the neighborhood of 70. Yeah.
And they went 57 yards on that drive. So Merrick out to kick off.
About 57 total yards in that first half for the Engineers.
Boots it away. Salyer will come out from the end zone to the 15, to the 20, breaks a tackle 25, and he's out to the 41-yard line.
So the Engineers scoring a 57-yard drive for that touchdown. That 57 yards equals about what they had the entire first half.
Now we'll see what the St. Lawrence offense can do in this second half. First time they're going to get the ball here with 8:42 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Lowther passed for 79 yards in the first half, hit 10 out of 15. Most of the time had plenty of time to throw. Didn't face a lot of pressure in that first half from the RPI defense.
Schmidt in the backfield. He'll take the handoff on first down. Stopped at the 31 and pushed back. Conquo was not letting him get downfield.
Yeah, no room at all there for Schmidt.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
The sun's peeking out from the clouds here in Troy. It was mostly, the first half was mostly played in the shade, but the sun is at times coming out in the 2nd quarter.
Still a steady wind going from right to left. St. Lawrence going into the wind as we play the 3rd quarter here.
3 receivers to the left for St. Lawrence, tight end on the right. And now they're going to move Schmidt over to the right as a receiver. So RPI heading towards the quarterback. He's going to get away from it. Lawther is going to slide down at the 32. He saw nothing but black jerseys in front of him and opted to go to the ground.
Yeah, Conquo among others with early pressure on Lawther. He just had to abandon the pass play and scramble out to the left for anything he could get. He did end up picking up getting it out to the 32, which will leave a 3rd and 9 for the Saints. A 3 and out here. If RPI can hold them to a 3 and out and get the ball back, you're talking about a really strong shift in momentum. First half, the Engineers pretty sluggish, trailed 6-0. They scored their first possession, and now a chance to force a 3-and-out here for the Saints.
4 wide receiver formation for the Saints. Lothar takes a snap. He's going to get hit, and he's down. Conquo just burned past his man and then came alone against Lothar, who looks like he's hurt. He is not getting up right away, but there was a breakdown in blocking there.
Yeah, Conquo was matched against Nathan DeRue, who is a big guy at 6'6", 300, but Conquo was so much faster than him. He just blew around Conquo's left, DeRue's right, and all of a sudden he was all over Lothar before he could even look downfield with the ball. He's holding his right knee, and trainer out there looking at him, but he's not moving much, and that would be a big blow for the Saints if he has to leave the game. Regardless, they're going to be giving up the ball here, I believe. It's 4th down from the 23, so 4th and long, and they will be punting. But right now the chief concern for the Saints is their quarterback, who's down on the field. They're looking at his right knee on the far side, kind of near where the numbers are on the far side.
6:51 to go, third quarter, 7-6. RPI leads St. Lawrence as Lothar is being attended to. They are going to help him up. He took his helmet off. They're going to help him up, and he's going to limp off the field.
Lothar's a sophomore who started most of the year as a freshman. He's 6'1", 200 out of Pittsford, New York, which is suburban Rochester. It'll be interesting to see if he makes it out for the next possession. If not, they will likely go to William Turner, the backup, who has not seen a lot of action this year. He's only thrown 3 passes in the first 8 games. But for now, we get ready for the St. Lawrence punt into the wind here in the third quarter.
So Tyler Liddy is out for the punt. Walker Sutton is at about the 45. Into the wind. Walker Sutton tells everybody to stay away from it. It'll be downed at the 46 of St. Lawrence. So RPI starting out on the Saints side of the field with 6:27 to go here, third quarter. RPI up 7-6.
And you want to know an example maybe of how the wind is playing things, especially with punting. Tyler Liddy for the Saints, when he was punting with the wind in the first half, Curdy averaged 54 yards a kick. And when he was punting into the wind, 22 yards a kick. And that one didn't get much of anywhere. Saints, the Engineers taking over on the Saints side of the field at the 46 with 6:27 to go in the third quarter. RPI leading St. Lawrence 7-6.
4 wide receiver formation for RPI. Burnett in the backfield. Kazagnowski wanted to go to the right, sees nothing. Now he's going to run with the ball. Kazagnowski to the 40, caught from behind as he gets close to the 38-yard line. So that's a gain of 8 for RPI on the Kazagnowski scramble. They're looking at Lothar right now underneath the awning, what's it called?
Well, the tent where they have the trainer set up, and he's kind of flat on his back, and they're trying to stretch out that right knee. So, again, meanwhile, backup quarterbacks, 2 guys throwing, getting warm, including
Kazagnowski on second down, under pressure. He's going to run to his left this time. Keeps it. He's got a first down to the 30. Flag comes out, and he's out at the 25, but this might be coming back.
A late flag at the end of the scramble.
Yeah. The flag came out when he was at the 30. If he had gotten the first down and gone down on the slide, they probably would not have been flagged.
Offense, number 27.
Holding against RPI.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
All right, blocking the back is going to negate a nice run by Kazagnowski.
So he gets most of the run. Actually, nope, he gets 1 yard on the run.
Meanwhile, Lowther off the training table on the other side. Looks like he's trying to slowly walk or jog a little on the Saints sideline. He's the quarterback who was knocked out with an injury on the last offensive play for St. Lawrence.
So it was 2nd and 2. It's now 2nd and 1. The penalty moves them back to the situation where there's only a 1 yard gain. RPI goes to the ground, and that'll be a first down as Burnett takes the carry, and he makes it out to the 33. So clock's running. 5:15 to go third quarter, 7-6 RPI leads.
First and 10, RPI.
RPI with their first and 10 at the St. 33-yard line.
Dylan Burnett, 23 yards rushing in the first half and 34 right here in the third quarter.
Lawther's back on the table. He tried to walk it off or whatever, and now the staff's going to look at him again. Burnett takes it on first down, goes to the right, and he'll get stopped at the 30-yard line.
Burnett on the carry.
Almost everybody in the field was in that pile, pushing one way or the other.
Proceed.
So RPI with the win for another 4.5 minutes. Although it's kind of died down a bit. Well, the flags, I'll get to that in a moment. Kazagnowski is going to throw, and that is complete, but immediately going to the ground is the receiver on that play.
Aiden Keefe, his first reception today. Ball was a little overthrown. He had to come to an abrupt stop, make the catch, and hit the ground as he was making that catch. So third down now and 3 at the 26 for the Engineers. Almost assuredly 4-down territory here as well.
One receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Allison, the tight end on the right. It's going to be a handoff to Burnett, and Burnett keeps going, and he's got a first down to the 20-yard line.
Wow, that was all effort by Burnett. He got hit at about the 24, 25-yard line by Aiden Goulet, one of the linebackers, and it looks like he was going to be stopped. Oh, and they're quick running another play here.
And on first down, RPI is going to try to catch St. Lawrence off guard. They go to Burnett on this rush, and he's going to get stopped after a gain of about 2. Yeah, he's down to about the 18-yard line.
But just going back, Burnett was hit at about the 24-25, and he just fought through that tackle and got all the way down to the 20, kind of just fighting on his own. A great effort by Burnett to get that first down.
So RPI is 2nd and 8 at the 18, a little over 3 to go third quarter. RPI leading 7-6. Goldsmith will go in motion to the right. Handoff goes to Burnett. Burnett straight ahead to the 15 at least, and then pushed back. And so RPI will now have the 3rd and 5 at the 15-yard line.
Just thinking ahead a play or two here. If it comes down to it, a 4th down, a field goal attempt would be with the wind. A strong wind blowing from right to left here.
But this is when you have the wind, you may want to go for it on 4th down.
You know, it's maybe no coincidence that the only scores in this ball game have gone with the wind. Neither team has scored with the wind today.
Kazagnowski on 3rd down. Doesn't see anything. He's going to roll to his right, looking downfield. He throws and is caught, complete, and incomplete at the 5-yard line.
Well,
and no complaint either. So
yeah, Kazagnowski just sidestepped a sack. Boy, he almost went down at the 20. Hit his man down there. I think it was Joseph Ott in the hands, but as he was trying to fall on the sideline and bring in the catch and hit the ground, well, the ball came loose, and it's an incompletion.
Merrick out to try a field goal. This will be a 39-yard attempt.
32?
32, sorry. Yeah. I added the 17 to the spot, not the line of scrimmage.
With the wind.
With the wind. It's kind of towards the middle of the field, a little bit to the left. Snap spot. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 10-6 RPI leads with 2:08 left to go in the third quarter.
Remaining in the third quarter. The score, RPI 10, 3 North 6. Your support of Let's Go Red ensures that current and future student athletes.
So line of scrimmage for that was the 15-yard line, and it was a 32-yard kick.
And was it Matt Peterkuski, the
he's
quarterback?
the
Well, I tell you what, he saved that play. That snap was to his backhand side, his right side. He had to catch it to his right and swing around to his left and get the ball down in time for Merrick's kick foot to reach the ball. You know, the snap was just not perfect. It was on the wrong side of the holder, but Peterkuski really saved that, putting the ball down in position for Merrick to kick it through and give the Engineers a 10-6 lead with 2:08 to go in the third quarter. Again, we said it before, it's worth saying again, all of the points in this ball game have come with the wind. the team that's moving right to left. And the Engineers will have that advantage for just 2 more minutes, and then in the fourth quarter, it'll switch over, and St. Lawrence will have the win.
Merrick to kick off. Boots it. End zone, out of the end zone, and St. Lawrence will take it at the 25-yard line. So let's see who comes out at quarterback for the Saints.
That drive, by the way, 10 plays, 31 yards, again with the win, resulting in Alexander Merrick, 32-yard field goal, give the Engineers the lead. And Lowther is back out there, limping a bit, hobbling a bit on that right knee, but he's out there.
So Lowther will be the quarterback. 2 receivers each side. St. Lawrence trailing by 4 with 2:08 to go, third quarter. Takes the snap, throws. That is complete and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Who was the first guy who grabbed him? That was Noyes.
Connor Noyes, 54, the linebacker. They were trying to set up a wide receiver screen to the far side left, but Noyes just really sniffed it out, was not fooled on that play at all, and was right there to make the tackle right after the reception was made.
So no gain. That all occurred at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on that play. Second and 10, St. Lawrence at their own 25-yard line. Lowther will roll to his right. Looking downfield, throws. That is complete. That'll be a first down as they get it out to sail yards, and he's got it at the 42.
Nice design there by the Saints offense. They just sprint out to the right by Lowther to avoid any kind of rush. He had 2 receivers down on the near sideline right, and Salyard's right there. First down out to the 42 of St. Lawrence. First down of this half for the Saints.
1 minute to go, third quarter. Saints trail 10-6 to RPI. They have it first. Saints do first and 10 at their own 42. Handoff goes to Schmidt. Schmidt weaved a little bit, and then he'll get stopped at the 45 after a pickup of 3.
RPI scoreless in the first half. They put up 10 points here in the third quarter on 2 drives. Again, it's worth noting, Kurt, the 2 drives, one of them 13 plays, 57 yards. The other 10 plays, 31 yards. Those are the only 2 drives where the Engineers have held the ball for 10 plays or more.
Second and 7 at the 45 as time is running down in the third quarter. 3 receiver formation, tight end on the right side for St. Lawrence. Lowther is going to throw it up along the sidelines, and where is it? It is a flag on the play, and that's going to be pass interference against RPI. Pass goes incomplete, intended for Cole, but it's going to be pass interference against RPI.
Yeah, I believe that was C.J. Lyons, and I tell you, from up here anyway, it looked pretty clearly that he had grabbed Call, the left arm of Call, before the ball reached the receiver. We were right next to the St. Lawrence coach's box, and they were certainly animated looking for the flag there. And we had 2
pass interference.
officials throw the flag.
15 yards from the previous spot, automatic
Pretty
first
easy
down.
call for the refs. And a big call because that's going to move the ball into RPI territory. The ball is going to be at the 40, 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter, but soon we'll switch sides, which means St. Lawrence will have the wind going into the fourth quarter. It's about a 16-mile-an-hour wind all day today. And bringing home the point one more time, the only scorers in this game have occurred by the team with the wind advantage.
If that's the way the game goes, it won't be the first time that's happened at the East Campus Stadium. So 12.5 seconds left here, third quarter. 3 receiver formation, 1 tight end. Handoff goes to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that'll be it for the third quarter.
Shoemaker, among others, in on the tackle. Last play of the third quarter, so 1 quarter to go. Here in Troy, RPI 10, St. Lawrence 6. You're listening to Engineers Football on WRPI Troy.
Out of town, it is now tied in Schenectady in the third quarter. 21 all, Ithaca and Union. As we've gone over, Ithaca win. They are in the NCAAs, and they are sole champions of the Liberty League. If Union wins, next weekend's Dutchman Shoes game will determine who makes it to the NCAA tournament and would put RPI in a spoiler position.
Well, we'll see how things change around here in this fourth quarter now that St. Lawrence has the win. In that third quarter, RPI had two very long drives, successful drives. They ate up most of the clock there in that quarter. The Engineers had a 13-play, 57-yard drive for a touchdown. They kept that for 6 minutes and 6 seconds, giving them the lead 7-6. And in their second drive of that quarter, 10 plays, 31 yards, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. End result was a Merrick field goal, which puts the Engineers up 10-6. And now it'll be St. Lawrence ball to start off. They're going from right to left with the win at the Engineers 40. The ball marked at the hash mark, the far side, right side hash mark as we open the fourth quarter.
Two receivers to the left, man in the slot on the right along with another receiver. Saints, 2nd and 10 at the 40. Author fakes the handoff to Schmidt, rolling to his left, throws. That is complete, and that'll be down to the 38-yard line for Ott. Only a pickup of 2, though, for St. Lawrence. That'll put them in a 3rd and 8 situation. A lot of 3rd and longs in this game. Both teams.
Third and long, and his favorite receivers have been Carnaccia and Green, and maybe Schmidt coming out of the backfield. So those are probably the 3 guys to watch here for the Saints as Lawther lines up in a shotgun with a single back to his left. That's Schmidt.
Carnaccia is on the left, Green's on the right. And on 3rd down, Lawther's in trouble, and he's going to go down at the 46. And now, to explain that play better, it looked like he had footing trouble prior to actually getting tackled when he tried to make a move, which brings us back to he got hurt earlier in the game.
Yeah, and also it speaks to the fact that Amici Kwanko, who gets the sack there, also just really beat his guy. He was coming in from the left end, and he just sprinted around his man, and he was closing in. And Lawther tried to make a step around the sack, and it looked like he did lose his footing, like the cleat came out of the ground or something, and then he went down. But attribute that to Lawther's maybe hurt knee, but also Conquo just beating his man quickly.
St. Lawrence will punt on 4th down. The kick is let go, and it goes into the end zone. Walker Sutton didn't want to touch it. Goes into the end zone for a touchback, and RPI will get the ball at their own 20-yard line. So the sack was on 3rd down. St. Lawrence punts on 4th down, and RPI's got the ball. 13:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. 10-6 RPI leads.
And so taking over deep in their own territory at the 20 and now going into the win, it will be important here for the Engineers to just move out of their own territory here, get a few first downs, maybe eat up some clock. You don't necessarily have to score on this drive, but one thing you definitely don't want to do is go 3 and out and have to punt into the win from deep in your own territory.
What you really don't want to do is give up the ball.
Well, yeah.
I guess there's a long list of don'ts right now for RPI.
Give up a defensive touchdown, yes, that would be number 1.
So RPI on the ground on 1st down is going to get nothing. Forward progress stopped at the line of scrimmage. So that is Buckley out there? I believe that is Buckley on the rush. So it's mostly been Burnett today, but Buckley has seen some action. So Buckley on 1st down doesn't pick up anything for RPI. We are in the fourth quarter in Troy, RPI with the 10-6 lead. Second and 10 Engineers at the 20-yard line. St. Lawrence linebacker is going to go ahead, so it's a 4-man rush. RPI throws. That is complete, and RPI is out to the 35-yard line. That gets them some room and the first down at the 36. So that was Ninchi on the reception to the 36-yard line. Gets him some space.
A nice curl route from the left side where he just sprinted for about 10 or 15 and then hooked in under the zone and Kazanowski spotted him wide open for the reception out at the 36.
So 1st and 10 at the 36 for RPI. 12:15 to go, fourth quarter. RPI with the 10-6 lead. This is a very fast-moving game, especially the first half, which took approximately 51 minutes to play. You don't get a whole lot faster. 3 receivers bunch to the right for RPI. Kazanowski's going to look over the middle. That is caught, and that is complete to Ninchi, and he's on the St. Lawrence side of the field. He's down at the 47.
Well, it worked so well last time. On the very previous play, they decided to try it again, and what was going on is Ninchi, they're giving him a lot of room on that far side, so he just takes off on a sprint and then curls to the middle, kind of same play back-to-back times for 2 long completions for the Engineers.
1st and 10, RPI at the 47 of St. Lawrence. 11.5 to go, fourth quarter.
A 16-yarder and then a 17-yarder, both Kazanowski to Ninchi, almost the exact play back-to-back times. Ninchi had to come off. He had a shoulder pad uniform problem. He's out now.
RPI goes back to the ground. Buckley doesn't see anything up ahead, goes to the right, and he's going to turn what was going to be nothing into 3.
Yeah, exactly. He looked like he was going to go down at the line of scrimmage, but he cut back towards the middle, kept his legs churning, and falls forward for 3 yards.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 7 at the 44. As RPI looks to the sidelines, there's 25 seconds on the play clock. They have time. It's only a 4-point lead. RPI would really like to get a touchdown and make it a 2-score game. Kazanowski fakes the handoff, looks to throw, pump fake, hit, sacked back at the 50-yard line.
4th sack of the day for the St. Lawrence defense.
Bennett Cheer. Let's credit him for the sack that time.
It sets up a 3rd and long for the Engineers. 3rd and 13 with the ball smack on the 50. Kind of on the near side hash. Getting close to the 10-minute mark. 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. RPI on 3rd down. Buckley's the running back. He's going to stay to block. Kazanowski throws, and Allison can't hold on to it. He had it in his hands. It bounced. He had it again. Still bouncing around, and then it falls incomplete. And that was 3rd down. So 4th down, RPI is sending out the punt team as they were right on the 50-yard line.
2 things there. One, he made the mistake of turning to run with the ball before completing the catch. But the second thing is he would have been well short of the 1st down anyway. He was standing at about the 45-46 of St. Lawrence and had Saints closing in on him. So it wouldn't have been a 1st down anyway. But anyway, now a punt for the Engineers.
Burke is out to punt. Sale yards is back around his own 25. The ball, this is a good punt. This is a really good punt by Burke, and it's going to be down to the 10-yard line. He almost had it go out of bounds. It was a low kick, which was a good plan in the wind. It hit around the 20 and then took another 10 yards to the 10-yard line. And RPI's got St. Lawrence back at their own 10 with 9:37 to go in the fourth quarter, and RPI leading 10-6.
Well, not only that, as you said, Kurt, good that it was low, especially given the wind here. But what he did was he angled it to the right sideline away from the receiver, and so there was no chance for the receiver to pick up the ball and stop it from rolling another 10, 12 yards. So really smart play for Burke there, pinning the Saints down at their own 10 with 9:44 to go in regulation. So they got 90 yards to go for a touchdown, but they do have the wind.
Worst start for St. Lawrence today. 1st down, and Lawther's going to pass. That's complete over the middle out to about the 13-yard line for Sale yards.
He lined up tight, just came across the middle. But the Engineers' defense closing in on him quickly to just hold it to a 3-yard gain.
St. Lawrence needs a touchdown, down by 4 against one of the best defenses in the country. Second down and 7 from the 13-yard line. Lothar throws. Is that complete? Yes. That is complete to Green at the 19. He hits the ground immediately. And it'll be a 3rd and 1 for St. Lawrence.
Just a quick hit to Green to kind of avoid any pressure. Lothar had defenders coming in on, and we wanted to get rid of that really quickly.
RPI averaging, the team averaging 7.9 points allowed this year. That's the whole team. The defense is actually lower because you have some touchdowns off the offense. So 3rd down and 1 for St. Lawrence. They'll go to Schmidt on the ground, and he is still fighting, He's not going to make it. He did not get the first down. They'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. They'll mark him at the line of scrimmage. And what does St. Lawrence do now? They're sending out the punt team.
4th and 1, but they're at their own 19. And there is 8 minutes to go, so it would be really risky to go for it here. I know it's only 1 yard, but at your own 19, if you fail, you're looking at the game potentially being over pretty quickly. And they are going to send the punt team.
They're sending the punt team out, but I would really...
Hey, well, yeah, they might try to draw them off sides, right?
Well, draw them off sides or a fake. They don't have anybody up close to the snapper. And they'll snap it back, and this will be a kick. Not a good one. Not a good one. This bounces at the 45, and it'll be down just beyond the 45 on the St. Lawrence side of the field. So with the wind, not an especially good kick. It wasn't anywhere close to where Walker Sutton was. And RPI's got the ball. 7:26 to go in the 4th quarter. 10-6 RPI leads. And they've got the ball on the St. Lawrence side of the field.
Yeah, a really disappointing kick given that the Saints have the win. That only went for 27 yards, I believe. As they mark it at the 46 now. So 7:26 to go. RPI nursing a 4-point lead. Kurt, if they can get a couple of first downs and chew up the clock, can really start to put a grip on this game, even if they don't score on this drive.
RPI 1st and 10 at the 46. They have 2 men in the backfield. Walker Sutton was back there with Burnett. Burnett breaks free to the 35. Burnett to the 30. Ball came loose. Ball's loose inside the 30, and they're going to have to unpile this. Of course, St. Lawrence says they have it on that side. I have no idea who's got the ball.
Big pile up. We'll have to peel everybody off. That was about one of his best runs of the day. Looked like it went for about 18 yards. But it might end up being a fumble. Well, St. Lawrence again jumping up and down and declaring they have it. Still nothing from the referees.
Yeah, the officials have not said anything, and now they do. St. Lawrence recovers the fumble inside their own 30. So RPI had the first down. Things were looking good, but then Burnett fumbles the ball, and St. Lawrence recovers at their own 28 with 7:18 to go in this 4th quarter.
Looked like Bennett Cheer, 97, a linebacker, 6'3", out of Williston, Vermont, was the last guy out of the pile on the ball for the St. Lawrence Saints. So big turnover there. RPI chance to put the game away on that drive. Instead of fumble, gives it right back to the Saints. 7:18 to go in the 4th quarter.
1st and 10, Saints at their own 28-yard line, trailing RPI by 4. 3 wide receiver formation. Lothar to throw, and he's going to get hit, and he gets away from it, and now he's going to go down. He'll go down. He was trying to run away. He couldn't maintain his balance, and he's down at about the 23.
By number 90, Brian McNeil.
Lots of pressure for the Engineers. Josh Cohen, 97. Brian McNeil, 90. There's like several guys closing in. Cohen might end up getting credit for a sack there. But there were several folks closing in on Lothar.
So the ball's back at the 23-yard line. Clock still running, 6:40 to go in the game. RPI ahead by 4. St. Lawrence with a 2nd and 15 back at the 23. Lothar out of the shotgun. He's under pressure once again. Throws the ball. That is complete. Granatia has it, and he is down around the 28. Yeah, they're going to call him down at the 28-yard line, and that's where the drive started.
Nice open field tackle by 13, Carlos Davis, closing in there on Salyards to make the tackle.
Yeah, Salyards, pardon me. I called the wrong person.
3rd and long, big play here. 3rd and 10 for the Saints because we're under 6 minutes to play. And strategically, you wonder if they're going to go for a pass that gets them down 10 yards, or if you try to just chip away a little bit, get 5 or 6, and then go for it on 4th down. We'll see what they try.
Time is running out on St. Lawrence. Smith's going to split out, and he's going to take the pass in the flat. No! Dropped it. Dropped it in the flat, incomplete. And now it's 4th and 10 for St. Lawrence.
He was looking for Schmidt out there in the right flat, but, I think part of why he dropped it is Cole McGrath, number 5, was just coming like a train right at Schmidt. And Schmidt couldn't hold on to the pass. And now 4th and 10, they are going to punt.
St. Lawrence recovered the fumble, but couldn't do anything with it.
3 plays, 0 yards. And so with 5.5 to go, it's just, again, 4th and 10, probably just too much to ask. So they're going to punt it away and put the game in their hands of their defense.
Liddy boots the ball away. Walker Sutton takes it around his 24-yard line, starts upfield, 25, and to the 30, and Walker Sutton is stopped at the 32. So with 5:22 to go in the game, RPI has it at their own 32-yard line, up by 4. And you're listening to WRPI Troy with Engineer Football. Kurt Studd and Yancey Roy on the call for you today here from the East Campus Stadium.
Well, the last time the Engineers had the ball, they handed it off to Burnett, who's had a really good second half. He peeled off 18 yards, fumbled at the end of the carry to turn it over, but otherwise Burnett's had a really strong second half. We'll see how much they try to use him here on this drive.
Give the ball to Burnett once again. He's going to go right now, cuts it upfield. Burnett to the 35, 36. He'll pick up 4.
Just to illustrate, Dylan Burnett had 23 yards rushing in the first half. He's had 74 here in the second.
RPI milking the play clock for all it's worth.
Under 5 to go.
This is a 2nd and 6 at the 35. We're down to 5 seconds on the play clock. 3 receivers to the left. Handoff goes to Burnett. Burnett goes straight upfield, and Burnett stopped at the 40-yard line. 4.5 to go in the game. RPI now with a 3rd and 2.
And for what it's worth, that's going to put him over 100 yards rushing on the afternoon now. 101 for Burnett. Big play here. 3rd and 2 at the RPI 40. You get a first down, and boy, you can just start to really peel off the minutes here.
Well, our St. Lawrence has 3 timeouts. If RPI gets a first down,
or force St. Lawrence to start using those timeouts. Yeah,
St. Lawrence needs to think about using timeouts if RPI gets first down. On 3rd down pass, that is complete. That's a first down. Allison's got it just short of the 45. It's enough for a first down. Clock stops with 3:52 to go in this. Well, it's immediately started again. Clock is running. RPI with the 1st and 10 at the 44, leading 10-6. 3:40 to go in the game.
Another big catch by Allison. He's had 2 receptions this afternoon, but boy, they've been timely. One was for the touchdown, and the other right there, enough for a first down for the Engineers to keep possession and keep running this clock. Now down to 3:25 to go here in the second half. And if you're St. Lawrence, when do you start using these timeouts? You got 3 of them left.
Well, you're going to have to use them soon, or else RPI is going to have the clock expire. Pass in the flat, complete to Burnett, 45, and he'll get caught from behind at the 49-yard line, and St. Lawrence is going to take a timeout with 3:07 to go.
Yeah, Burnett, in a way, he was trying to get around the defender on the far side left. It was maybe fortunate in a way that he was brought down rather than pushed out of bounds. It forces St. Lawrence to use the first of its 3 timeouts. Ball at the 49-yard line. Far side hash, left to right, into the win for the Engineers.
10-6 RPI leads here in Schenectady with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It is still tied at 21, Union versus Ithaca.
If you missed part of the first half, it was a sluggish first half for the Engineers. They did not score. Their longest drive was only 29 yards. and they went to the locker room trailing 6-0, but they had a terrific third quarter. 2 long drives, one 13 plays that resulted in a touchdown, and the other 10 plays that resulted in a field goal. All of that happening with the Engineers with the wind at their back, and they take the lead 10-6, and that's where we stand here in the fourth quarter. Now 3:07 to go, and the Engineers looking at 2nd and 5 at their own 49. St. Lawrence used their first timeout. They have 2 left. Again, just 3 minutes and 7 seconds to play in regulation.
RPI with 3 receivers to the left. That's the short side. And now they're going to move Goldsmith over to the right. That's the side that Allison, the tight end, is on. And they're going to go to the ground. Burnett runs all the way to the right, tries to turn this upfield. He'll get stopped at the 49 of St. Lawrence, and the Saints will take their second timeout.
I believe that was Kevin Hughes, number 6 on the carry, stepping in for
St.
Burnett
Lawrence.
there.
Their second time out of the half.
Was it?
Yeah. 6 was in for Hughes on that carry. Hughes in for Burnett, sorry.
49-yard line.
Regardless, it's now 3 minutes to go, and they use another timeout. 3rd down, 3 to go at the St. Lawrence 49. Again, another big 3rd down play for the Engineers. Last time, Kazanowski running a pass play, checked down on his receivers, found the open guy in the middle, which was Shane Allison, the tight end. He's not usually one of the primary receivers for Kazanowski, but he's caught 2 big passes today. Caught that last one to keep the drive going. We'll see where they turn to here. 3rd down and about 3, a long 3, if you will, from the St. Lawrence 49.
Saints down to 1 timeout now. As RPI comes to the line. 3rd down and about 3 at the 49-yard line for the Engineers. 3 receiver formation. Allison in the slot on the right. Burnett takes the carry. Burnett's going to get hit in the backfield. He will not have a first down. He will not make it to the first down marker. Clock continues to run as RPI is looking at a 4th and 3, and we're coming up on 2:45 to go in the game.
Nice play there by Ben Munn, the linebacker, kind of catching Burnett from behind and bringing him down at the 49. 2:38, 2:37. St. Lawrence going to save its last time out, I suppose, for its offense.
RPI waiting. Looks like they are going to just wait until it's down to 1 second on the play clock and take a timeout.
Yeah, it's at 10 right now, so we're going to run it down to, what, 2:10 to go?
About 2:11.
Yeah,
it'll be about 2:11. 2:12.
Just to make sure you don't wait too long, yeah. 2:12, they call a timeout. Engineers,
RPI,
4th down.
Timeout at half.
All but certain to line up to punt. They might try to draw them off sides, but I can't imagine you would go for it here. But they'll be punting into the wind. And last time, Burke got off a terrific punt into the wind. If you remember, he angled it low and to the right sideline, keeping it away from the receiver and benefiting from a nice roll to pin St. Lawrence back at its 10. Kind of looking for a repeat of that this time.
So there's 2:12 left on the clock. RPI with a 10-6 lead. So St. Lawrence needs a touchdown. Assuming RPI punts here, St. Lawrence needs a touchdown on the drive. A kick does them no good.
You know, if it ends this way, Kurt, one thing I'm going to think is going to stand out here is that last drive of the first half for St. Lawrence, where they kept the ball for 15 plays, got it in the red zone, the RPI red zone, but ended up turning the ball over on downs on a 4th down incompletion. And that's the last time they've threatened to score.
So Burke is out to kick. Sale Yards is at his own 20. Fourth down. Good snap. Kick is away. Good kick. Sale Yards comes up and takes it just short of the 20. He'll get tackled from behind as he crosses the 25 to the 26. And that's where St. Lawrence will take over at the 26-yard line with 2:04 to go in the game, and RPI up 10-6.
So here we go. 2:04. Daniel Lawther, who had a terrific first half, Not so good in the second half. He also went down one time on a sack where he injured his right knee, and he's just looked not quite as mobile ever since. But now he's out there 74 yards away from the end zone, going to try to engineer a drive for the Saints.
4 wideout formation for the Saints. 1 timeout left. And Lothar pass, is that complete? Carnacci has it? Yes, he's got it at the 32.
Clock still rolling.
Yeah, I was going to say, clock is still rolling. They only have 1 timeout, so a completed pass, anything in the field, and St. Lawrence has to get back to the line. They do. They've set. 2nd down and 4 for St. Lawrence at the 32-yard line. Lothar looking downfield. Under pressure, he'll get taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's at the 32-yard line. So clock is still running, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 for St. Lawrence at the 32.
Cohen, McNeil in on a tackle, but it was pressure by all of the defensive line that forced Lothar to just kind of scramble for it. Not taking the timeout. They've only got 1 left, so they're trying to use it strategically here.
1:15 to go in the 4th quarter. St. Lawrence trailing by 4. 3rd and 4 at the 32. Lothar throws and almost intercepted. It was almost taken away by Deptula. It's incomplete.
Almost intercepted because Lothar threw behind his receiver, Daniel Green, who was cutting from the right to the left across the middle of the field, and was kind of open, had a chance to make the catch, but Lothar threw it behind him and almost into the hands of Deptula. So here we are, 4th down and 4. Ball game in the balance right here.
1:09 to go. St. Lawrence, more than anything else, has got to get a 1st down. 4 wide receivers. Crowd getting behind the Engineers. Junta is going to go in motion. He's to the right. Lothar throws, and that is knocked away. Incomplete. And it's 4th down, so it's turned over on downs by St. Lawrence. 1:05 to go in the game.
He went to his favorite receiver, Carnacci, on the left side. He was guarded closely by Lyons. Carnacci wanted a pass interference play because, it did look like Lyons might have had his hand on his back, but maybe not clutching him, but had contact. But the refs letting him play, no flag, and as a result, a 4th down incompletion means the RPI Engineers will take over with 1:05 to go and just needing to run out the clock here. St. Lawrence does have 1 timeout, but otherwise won't be able to stop the clock at all.
So Kazagnowski takes a knee, and St. Lawrence is not going to stop the clock.
They're not even going to call it, yeah.
Yeah, well, all you're doing is delaying the inevitable.
Still, you don't usually see a team do that, though. You usually see them use it. Maybe they'll use it after the next one. The play clock is at 21 right now, so there will have to be another snap. Or
yes.
Maybe they'll just let it go.
So RPI has to snap it a 2nd time. If you take a timeout, they'll have to snap it a 3rd time because they're under 40 seconds. Kazagnowski takes a knee. And
nope.
St. Lawrence will not take the timeout. They're going to move.
And that's going to be it.
Yeah, they're going to move to the 50-yard line, and RPI, the clock is still running, but RPI is not going to snap the ball, and St. Lawrence is not expecting them to. So it'll be a 10-6 RPI victory officially in about 15 seconds.
And the Engineers will take it. Look, we said at the beginning of this game it was a potential trap game for the Engineers. They played a tough game against Ithaca, tough loss last week. They've got the big rivalry game against Union College next week. So would you be overlooking St. Lawrence, who always plays the Engineers tough? And certainly that's what it looked like in the first half. Just no other way to put it than a bad first half offensively for the Engineers. They were shut out. They had almost no drives to speak of. And St. Lawrence had a 6-0 lead at halftime. But importantly, though, Kurt, St. Lawrence could have had more. They had a 15-play drive at the end of the first half. They got it into the red zone and did not score, failing on a 4th down pass attempt. And, that might have been the possession that they think about on the ride home to Kent, because that's the last time they really got a chance to score. Meanwhile, RPI offense really got into gear in that 3rd quarter. They were aided by the win. Again, we said it before, we'll say it again. All the scores today occurred when the team who scored was benefited by the win. The Engineers had 2 long drives, a 13-yard play touchdown drive to take a 7-6 lead, and then later a 10-play 31-yard drive, which resulted in an Alexander Merrick field goal to make it 10-6 in the 3rd quarter. and that was the end of the scoring. RPI defense just tough throughout the fourth quarter, never let St. Lawrence generate anything of a drive in that fourth quarter, even though the Saints had the win. And their last possession, they failed on a fourth down attempt to pass incomplete deep in St. Lawrence territory. And as a result, RPI hangs on to win 10-6. Engineers, as we said, out of the running for the automatic NCAA playoff berth, but one of the important things they accomplish here today is to go to 6-3 and keep their consecutive streak of winning seasons going.
Still the potential for a first-place tie in the conference, depending on what's going on over in Schenectady. And right now, Ithaca's taking a 28-21 lead on Union, starting of the fourth quarter. So that's what's going on over there. For RPI, picked up 10 points against the St. Lawrence team that was allowing 26.9 on average on the season. So
it was enough today.
It was enough. It was enough to win.
And again, relying on their defense, as we mentioned, one of the top defenses in Division III football, and scoring-wise, they're averaging, I don't have it in front of me, what?
It was 7.9. It was a little under 8.
So, and again, there were the one solid drive for St. Lawrence was the 59-yard drive for a touchdown to take the 6-0 lead, but their one other missed opportunity, they had it for 15 plays, the drive late in the first half, got in the red zone, but turned it over on downs. RPI defense coming up with a stop there, and then never really letting St. Lawrence breathe, offense breathe really in the second half at all.
So RPI picks up the win, go down to scoring in today's game. First quarter, Saints got their only score. Lothar to Carnaccia for an 18-yard touchdown pass. The kick failed, and it was 6-0 St. Lawrence. That was the only score in the first half. They went into the locker room, St. Lawrence leading 6-0. RPI came out in the third quarter, and their first two drives they scored. 8:48 to go in the third quarter. Kazagnowski to Allison on a 5-yard touchdown pass. Merrick's kick made it 7-6 RPI. Engineers took the lead. And then late in the third quarter, a 32-yard Merrick field goal with 2:08 to go made it 10-6 RPI. And that was the last of the scoring today. Only 3 scores. And it was a final. RPI 10, St. Lawrence 6. RPI improves to 6-3 on the season, 4-1 in the conference, so they have clinched a winning record both overall and in the Liberty League. And St. Lawrence falls to 3-6 overall. They are 1-4 in the conference, so they are guaranteed a losing record both overall and in the Liberty League. Regular season ends next week. St. Lawrence is hosting Buffalo State. That's a 1 p.m. start next Saturday. And RPI here at the East Campus Stadium will be hosting Union in the Dutchman Shoes Trophy game. That will be a noon start next Saturday. Your engineers of the game?
Well, on offense, it's going to be Dylan Burnett. He had a terrific overall game, 106 yards rushing, so going over the century mark. And importantly, the distinction there, Kurt, in the first half and the second half, Dylan had 23 yards rushing in the first half and 73 in the second half, which in one statistic sort of gives you the breakdown of how well RPI's offense did in the first half compared to the second half. So your offensive player of the game is Dylan Burnett. Now, defensively, we've got a lot of choices. I'm going to go with Amici Conquo. He had 7 tackles, and he led the team with 2 sacks, 2 big sacks in that second half. St. Lawrence quarterback Lawther, which stopped Saints' drive. So really timely plays by Conquo. Kind of an honorable mention to a number of other guys. Connor Noyes led the way with 9 tackles. Josh Cohen with 8. Brian McNeil with 7. But your engineers of the game, again, Dylan Burnett on offense and Amici Conquo on defense.
Looking around the Liberty League before we head out-of-town scores, they have about 12.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Ithaca has a 28-21 lead on Union. Ithaca has the ball right now, also inside the Union 30-yard line. Technology is wonderful. I can actually watch that game on my phone. Other scores around the Liberty League. Hobart's at Buffalo State, and that one is over before the first half ended. It's 42-0 Hobart with 141 to go in the second quarter. And the other score, non-conference, Rochester is leading Hartwick 16-13 late in the fourth quarter. So that's what's going on out of town for other games. We'd like to say some thank yous before we head out of here from the East Campus Stadium. We would like to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, and that includes WRPI's coverage of Engineer football, hockey, and baseball. And WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. And you can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as we're sending something out over the air, we'll provide it for you on that feed. That is WRPI.org. I'd like to thank our staff back at the station for making sure we got out to you for today's game. Nothing really more to add. 10-6 win. It was what we're going to call now a typical RPI football win, a close game.
Yeah, they're all seemingly white knucklers, and especially against St. Lawrence. This has been a terrific upstate New York rivalry over the years. They always seem to be close. Last year we talked about this during the day. It was in Canton, and RPI beat St. Lawrence 22-20 in double overtime. And this game's set up today to also be close because of the factors that we talked about, that RPI coming off of just a heartbreaking loss to Ithaca, and they've got the big rivalry game next week. So there was an opportunity here for St. Lawrence to pull off an upset. And for at least half the day, it looked like they might just do that. But again, RPI getting a second-half boost with the 2 good drives with the win in the third quarter. And then again, just handing it over to the defense, a defense that's came into this game giving up just 8 points a game, and almost hitting that mark again today, giving up just 6 to St. Lawrence. So again, the story is just enough offense and a terrific defense. The Engineers moved to 6-3. Again, RPI has not had a losing season since 2011, so that's an important streak to keep going. And now you survived this one, and on to next week with the big rivalry game against Union College.
And just one last update before we head out. Ithaca just kicked a field goal. They now lead Union 31-21 with 11:25 to go in that one.
So if they hang on, they finish for undefeated and first place in the conference.
Yes, so that's at the moment that's where it's headed, which means next week it's Union and RPI for the shoes, and Union is not playing for a title at that point. Nobody's playing for a title.
Pride and honor in the rivalry, right?
Yeah, that's right. So that is going to be our next football broadcast is next week at noon here from the East Campus Stadium. We'll bring it to you on WRPI. Yancey Roy was to my left. My name is Kurt Studd. I would like to thank you for listening to today's game. The final score here from the East Campus Stadium, it was RPI 10 and St. Lawrence 6. And you've been listening to live coverage of Engineer football on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.